They say the heart doesn't ask for permission. One glance, one moment, and suddenly your soul whispers, this is it. But is it real, or just a sweet dream we want to believe in? Tonight, I want to take you through a story that began with nothing more than a glance and yet carried enough weight to change two lives forever. Be careful though, because once you hear this, you may never trust your own heart the same way again. It all began in a small cafe in New York City. An ordinary morning, ordinary people. A young man named Daniel walked in, tired from work, looking for nothing but coffee. But love never announces its arrival, does it? It just happens. And that day, Daniel didn't find coffee, he found her. She was sitting by the window, scrolling on her phone, sunlight resting gently on her face. That's when it happened, that hey that ached deep in his chest, the one that makes you feel like you've known a stranger your whole life. Daniel swears the entire world blurred out in that moment. The clinking cups, the crowded chatter, everything vanished. All he saw was her smile. Tell me honestly, have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt your heartbeat do a little dance? Was it love or just your imagination? Daniel wanted to talk to her, but he hesitated. Because sometimes one hello can change your entire life and one silence can haunt you forever. Finally, he gathered courage, coffee trembling in his hand. He walked over and asked, "Is this seat taken?" She looked up, and for a moment he thought time had stopped. Her smile wasn't just beautiful, it was safe. That smile turned into hours of conversation. They talked about dreams, travel, music, even heartbreak, because she too had loved and she too had lost. And yes, if you're wondering, Daniel did spill coffee on the table mid-conversation. Smooth, right? Nothing says I'm falling for you like fumbling sugar packets. Just when he thought fate had given him a miracle, destiny reminded him it always plays its own games. She told him she wasn't from New York. She was only here for work and flying back home the very next morning. Imagine meeting someone who feels like you're missing piece and realizing they'll be gone before you even get the chance to hold on. He smiled, trying to hide the ache in his chest, but inside his heart was already breaking. Because sometimes the pain isn't in losing someone you love, it's in losing someone you could have loved. Isn't life cruel that way? We meet people at the wrong time in the wrong place but with the right feelings. And we're left wondering, was it love or just a dream dressed in reality? Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone for just a few hours and later missed them more than people you've known for years? Wild, isn't it? The heart has no logic. That night, Daniel walked her through the city streets. The air was heavy with silence, the kind of silence that says everything your lips are too afraid to speak. He wanted to tell her, don't go. But what if she didn't feel the same? What if he ruined this magical day by confessing too much? At the end of the night, he stood with her at the taxi stand. The streetlights painted her in gold, and just before she stepped inside, he whispered, I don't know if love at first sight is real, but if it is, I think I just found it in you. She froze, her eyes filled with tears, and then she leaned forward, kissed his cheek, and whispered back, then don't let it go. That night didn't end with goodbye, it ended with hope, a promise to see each other again. Was it easy? No, long-distance love never is. Missed calls, lonely nights, broken hearts, wondering if it could really last. But sometimes what begins as a dream becomes the most real thing you've ever known. So is love at first sight real? Maybe it's not about proof or logic. Maybe it's about that hey, that ache in your chest. Maybe it's about that unexplainable pull toward someone who feels like home in a world full of strangers. Because sometimes, a single glance is all it takes to change everything. If this story touched your heart, don't let the feeling end here. I've shared another chapter on my channel, a story about a childhood crush that returned years later in the most unexpected way. Click on it and let's continue this journey of love together.